apocalypse, Mr. Manheim.
Who are you?
Your new lord and master. You may call me
Superman. I never let a woman get the upper hand. Lord, I don't know now what I'm gonna do.
It's a bird, it's a plane, it's our favorite asshole coming back in double. This is Dark Side's Couch. I'm Shea.
Hey, this is James.
This is Mike. Shea, you bring up a good point that we've avoided Superman for a whole year, and now that he's back, there's two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're making up for lost time.
We doubled down.
Did you call him favorite asshole?
Yep.
What the hell is wrong with
He's our favorite asshole.
If anything, this comic book proves that he's the greatest person of all time.
This one is an imaginary tale for a reason. It really sets outside of continuity.
Nope, this is
here.
canon.
Wow, this was the end of the Superman mythos.
Yep, this is how I think all superhero books should happen. Either the world ends or they solve all the world's problems.
Yep, and they get married and they retire.
Yep.
Good
yep.
Lord.
Finish your damn story.
That was Hank Williams Jr., Man of Steel, Bocephus.
That song was awesome.
Yeah, all Superman's rowdy friends are coming over tonight.
Yep. I'm going to listen to that song
Superman
on my
doesn't
own.
have friends.
He does.
He has lots of friends. He's Superman.
This comic proves that he
kidding.
has too many loved ones that he has to turn into two different
That's
people
true.
just to take care of all of them.
I take it back. You're right.
You guys act as if Superman wasn't real, like he wouldn't be everyone's role model.
Because I personally think that Jesus Christ is also a fictional character, and comparing him to Superman is way better than Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, I have a hard time seeing much of a distinction between the two. They're kind of the same guy.
Well, one actually solved all the problems. The other one gets murdered by the government.
Right. The one guy tried and the other guy succeeded.
He's like up there dying. Don't worry, guys, I'll be back. And he never fucking came back.
He came back once, and then he went away again, and I'm not sure what happened after that.
Yeah, he got held up in traffic.
I remember a big deal.
Space traffic.
I remember a big deal about him coming back, and then all of a sudden I didn't hear anything else.
Yep.
It's like the new Avatar movie. Everybody made a big stink about it, and then we kind of just forgot it happened.
Yep. But there are Marvel movies with better plots than that story.
And we're just kind of tapers out at the end.
Yeah, it's just like, don't worry, he'll be back.
Yeah. What is the last thing in the Bible? What's the very last thing?
I think
The
Revelations.
Is it really? Now
Revelations, though, may have just been like early Christians. They would, because it was illegal to be a Christian in like the Roman Empire, so they would have like secret church meetings, and they would use Revelations to get information back and forth with each other.
They would code it into.
Yes.
So it's really not a real part of the Bible.
No,
It's
like
kinda tacked on.
Yeah, and also it's been like
bonus book.
mistranslated like 30 times. And there's a bunch of other little books in the Bible that they don't include because they're too weird.
It's all great as far as I'm concerned.
Dude, in the book of
director's
Enoch, space aliens come to Earth and impregnate women, and they give birth to giants.
I want the full uncut version of the Bible. I want the Snyder cut of the Bible.
Yeah,
all
right.
the weird shit added in.
How is there not a movie about the book of Enoch? How is there not? That's crazy.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure some Christian organization made one, and it's made for a couple $1,000, and it's terrible. But
no, most mainstream. In fact, the only Christian religion on Earth, I think, is in Ethiopia that has the Book of Enoch as canon, and all the other ones have discarded them.
So they're the true path.
Yeah, they might be.
Ethiopia's the true path. Hey, Superman is back. We banned Superman for a year.
Yep.
Because he was in everything that
as
we
he
were told.
deserves to be, as he deserves to be. But he's back, and we're going to do a whole month of Superman comics, kicking off with this nonsense. And I put Shea on the spot last time to come up with a name, and I think she came up with something that was pretty good considering it was 5 seconds notice and she was tired. I don't remember what it was. Shea, do you remember what it was?
Nope.
All right,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
fine.
know. I don't know what you're talking about either.
Because I think I got it.
I was tired.
I think I figured it out. I think I got it. I'm going to run this one by you, okay? How about this? It's
Okay,
January.
okay.
It's January. It's the start of a new year. It's 2023 in January here.
Oh, I said Jor-El-Uary?
Oh, did you? I think you did, which is pretty good, but Jor-El's his dad, so it's a little odd. But here's what I'm thinking. Jan of Steeluary.
All right. Okay.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I'll
that work?
never remember it and never be able to say it properly.
Why not just Supermanuary?
Superman.
Oh, you know what? That's pretty good too.
Shit.
Supermanuary? I think that's what we should go with.
You know, we often come up with multiple names for these things.
I'll remember that one, and I'll be able to repeat it back.
Supermanuary. Okay.
Yeah, Supermanuary, that's way easier to say.
Wow. Yeah, but it's not as nonsensical.
Right,
I
but
like goofy nonsense. Okay.
Yeah, but if you want this to continue, you have to work with me.
Supermanuary. Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like a hygiene product almost.
Well, I like it. You and Shea made it together, and I approve.
Yes, you put that little notary stamp on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
2
this
for
is a-
2 with names.
First entry. Hey, I do want to throw this one thing out. I'm going to throw out a little correction here.
I keep fucking up.
This happened, I think, 2 episodes ago. I think we've all completely forgotten about it. But I did go and check, and Mike was right. Monkeys are not apes.
Yeah,
Right?
I know I'm right.
Well, but we couldn't, for whatever reason, there was not just a clear answer right there. Like, nobody wanted to have a clear answer. But the most notable difference between apes and monkeys is that apes never have tails, and most monkeys do. That's your easiest way to tell them apart.
Yep.
So, all right, there you go.
Yep.
They're all just stupid monkeys in one way.
Well,
or
I mean,
another.
we all have a common ancestor. Everything does.
Yeah, Jesus.
Everything.
The first monkey, the ultimate monkey.
Yeah, he's like that in that scene, that alien movie where he like melts into the river and creates life.
What?
Y'all ever see what the fuck is that? Prometheus? That movie's crazy.
Oh yeah, the alien prequel thing. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I heard it was insane.
You guys want to watch it? I'll stream it tomorrow.
Yeah, let's watch it
watch
right now.
it. Let's watch
We're gonna watch it right now.
Prometheus.
This is one of those times where I just say yes to something because 1, I know it's never going to get brought up a second time, and 2, I just want to move things along.
Oh, did you put that sound effect in? That's the movie. The move things
So-
along. Does it work?
Mike sends me these things to put on the Stream Deck, and he sent me this, which I'm not going to say isn't a useful or a funny sound effect. It's right here.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Which is, I mean, we all love Pacino. Everybody loves Heat, you know. I got no complaints about that. But the problem is that everything that Mike sends me is just a guy screaming obscenities. And I don't know why Mike thinks I can use any of these things. There is a file, a folder of a bunch of files that Mike sent that are all, again, men screaming obscenities. And I don't
like
know.
it.
I don't know where I would eventually use these. And there's one that I was terrified to even listen to. I still have not listened to it because the file name just said hate speech. I'm not going to find out what that is. I guarantee you there's no use for that file.
I actually don't. You know what? I actually don't know what that is.
I don't know either because I refuse to listen to it.
Do I have
Oh my
it
God,
still?
Mike.
It's
Do I
on-
still have
it's
it?
on
Let's see if
the
I still
cloud
have
drive.
it.
It's on the
What
cloud
the
drive. You can check it
fuck?
out later.
Oh my God.
Where is
You
that
guys
shit?
don't believe me, but I'm telling you.
I'm
Oh,
super curious.
I didn't expect that.
Yes, it just says
I-
hate speech.
Oh, it does. It
Yeah.
does just okay. All right. It
Yeah,
does.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
I don't need to know what
Let's
that
see what
is.
the other ones. I hope you die out there. That's
See,
pretty good.
exactly.
I
my
love my
God.
dead gay son. That's from Heather's.
Where am I going to use that?
Let's see. I sentence you to kiss my ass. That's a good one.
Well, that could be useful.
Yeah.
I want to say I may have had that on the board at some point.
Pick a fight with someone weaker than you. That's pretty good.
Well, yeah, that's also good.
Oh,
But
and
it's just-
the best ever is "Thank You Bitches" from New Jack, the pro
See,
wrestler.
I saw that, and I didn't think it was New Jack. What I thought it was the end of that Chappelle show. Speaking of Dave Chappelle, that Chappelle show sketch. I think it's at the Player Haters convention, and one of them ends their speech with "Thank you, bitches."
Oh,
It was the
okay.
Player Haters like science fair, and the end of his presentation was "Thank you, bitches," and that's what I thought it was, and it wasn't.
No, it's New Jack. R.I.P. New Jack, the most violent man who's ever lived.
Oh, is he dead now? That's a shame.
Incredibly violent. Did you ever read his diaries, his journaling?
I don't think I want to know too much about the inner workings of New Jack.
It was
Yeah, you want to keep it
funny.
mysterious.
It was.
Oh,
the
I'm
stuff
sure it's
It was
funny.
from when he was in jail.
There's just some things I don't want living
Hilarious.
in my brain. Like anymore, like trauma either from myself or from others. Like even like super violent movies, I don't have the stomach for anymore.
It wasn't super violent.
See, this is why
You
go
don't
to
have to do it. I'm just telling you.
This is why you go to therapy, so you process those bad emotions and make room for new bad emotions. Like you can only carry so many at a time, like bullets in a chamber. You got to empty it out periodically so you can get some new ones in there.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you going to play Russian roulette without a bullet?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
right. Right. I'll have to go to therapy so I can play Russian roulette.
So, I don't know. I think we should do this. I think we should look at this thing. I'm excited.
See, this is when the Al Pacino sound effect would come into play.
Yeah, it's here. Well, and also I have to be careful because I can't have so many things that I can't find the thing I'm looking for at a given time. So
That's true.
It's a balance, but it's on there. It's on there.
Dude, and this list of sound effects, there's like 3 of these from Heat. Like, did I just like watch Heat and then just start clipping sound
You get
effects and
super
sending them
baked
to you?
and watched Heat, and then just sent me a bunch of sound effects.
Yeah, most of these from last year. Yeah, I was super high.
Yeesh. This is Superman issue 162 from 1963. It's a book called The Amazing Story of Superman Red and Superman Blue, written by Leo Dorfman, art by the great Kurt Swan and the also great Kurt Schaffenberger, with inks by George Klein.
Mm-hmm. All hilarious names.
Well, I mean, these are some...
Why isn't George Klein great?
I'm not familiar with George. I'll be honest. I'm not familiar with my Silver Age inkers as much as I am with my pencilers and my writers. But I can look at a Kurt Swan or possibly even a Kurt Schaffenberger, but definitely a Kurt Swan piece of artwork and know that it's him. And that's notable. Whereas, can I pick out George Klein's inks? I just can't. I just can't do that. I'm not that deep in the hole.
I can't remember any of the names ever.
Yeah. Well, because you think these are all real events that happen, and so. There's no creative team behind it. It's just
I was raised under religion, James. It's hard for me to turn that off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of envious, honestly. I'd rather believe this. This is the better world to live in.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of a better world to live in, so on the cover here, we've got the story here. Superman's going to split himself in 2 versions of himself, and one of the versions has chosen to stay on Earth and marry Lana Lang, and the other one has moved to Krypton, married Lois Lane. Mm-hmm. And, that's all cool. That's what you can do nowadays in today's modern societies. A family is how you define it.
Well, there's Superman Red and Superman Blue, and they decided that their political ideologies won't allow them to live on the same planet anymore.
I certainly have felt that way many times. Like, we need to introduce some new form of segregation based on political ideology.
Right.
We need to, cut some of these states off. Build the wall already.
I love this image. So there's this image of Superman electrocuting his brain, and he's just like, bah!
He's drawn in a very 1950s style, even though this is the 60s. But he's drawn in that 1950s guy who works out twice a week kind of thing. Like, he's kind of in shape, but it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Who's playing Superman in your headcanon in this comic book?
Is this like Clark Gable? Who is this?
I don't know.
John Hamm's grandfather? Mm-hmm. Who would this be?
Well, it doesn't have to be of
doesn't
the
have
time.
To be an actor?
Doesn't have to be of the time, but it has to be an actor. Who's playing
I'm
Superman?
looking at that and I recognize his head. I'm I've seen
Caan.
That. James Caan.
All right, James Caan.
Okay, I've just seen that face before, and I can't place who that is.
I picked Alec Baldwin just because I thought his performance would be hilarious.
Sure. I don't know. He looks like a swim coach. I can't place his face, but it definitely looks like something I've seen before in my life.
Hey, so you know what? That captures
It's a little
Superman.
Bruce Campbell-y.
All right.
Yeah, a little
bit.
Yeah.
Without the chin.
Bruce Campbell, that'd be pretty good.
So yeah, maybe it's Bruce Campbell. Why not? Recast Henry. I like Henry Cavill, but let's get that Bruce Campbell in there as the new Superman.
Well, again, we'll have one as Superman Red and one as Superman Blue.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We picked 2.
Let's go straight to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
James Gunn. Are you listening?
Yeah, I got to go with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, and they're gonna do a face-off thing.
Wow, and it's gonna turn out to just be a sequel to Face Off.
Yeah, except they're both Superman.
Well, Nicolas Cage wanted to be Superman. He was Superman for a brief moment there.
I don't see why he can't now. Him and John Travolta.
Yeah, they're gonna do a great job. By the time this drops, we might actually know more about what they really are doing in the Superman cinematic universe, but right now we're still clueless. We're still in the dark as we're recording this, so I don't know. This might all be true. We may just be recapping things that actually were reported in the news.
If they had some courage, that's the way it would be.
Yeah, if they weren't cowards. So yeah, this is it says it's an imaginary tale, but I guess we've established that this is the canon end of the Superman universe.
Yes.
And right at the beginning, we find out that the Daily Planet is the most unprofessional place to work in the fucking world.
Yes.
Because they have they have posted everybody's salary on the wall.
And Perry White gets $25 more per week, and Lois
Sure.
Lane, the next highest,
Yeah.
gets 10.
Yeah. Well, Perry White is the editor.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So there's only 4 people working.
There's only 4 people that work at the Daily Planet.
At the newspaper, and Clark Kent doesn't get anything.
Which is wrong. Like, there's a man. The man hanging up is not Clark. It's not.
It's
Perry
just some
White.
guy. It's
no,
the
it's
publisher.
it's the owner of the
It
newspaper.
says the publisher of the Daily Planet. Yeah, so that's posting a notice, and it says Perry White gets an extra $25 a week. Lois Lane gets 10, which is more than Jimmy Olsen, who only gets 5. So I don't know how this is a misogynistic thing because Jimmy Olsen's getting screwed too, and then Clark Kent gets nothing. So
I didn't say it was misogynistic. I just
Okay.
said I'm saying that it was $25, and then the next highest is 10.
Well, because Perry White probably gets a cut of everything as an editor.
Yeah, he has to edit both Lois and Clark's stories.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Loser
That's
Clark
right.
not turning in
Both
shit
people?
though.
The 2 reporters at the Daily Planet.
Yes. Well, 3, but Clark doesn't turn anything in apparently.
Like,
Wanna
is
know
Perry
why?
White fucking hand lettering the papers?
Yes.
Jesus.
Do you want to know why it's
Why?
only the 4 of them? Is because the newspaper went out of business 40 years ago, and this is their website.
Yes. This is all that's left. I did check the inflation calculator. That $25 a week is the equivalent of $243 a week. Lois's extra $10 a week is the equivalent of about $97, and Jimmy's extra $5 is the equivalent of about $49.
Pretty good.
That's a little bit.
Look how happy Jimmy is. Wow. I'm a big success in the big
Doing
city.
great. You know, this is kind of apropos of nothing, but it is a good coincidence. I've been reading. Shout out to In Stock Trades because they accidentally sent me one of the Superman Man of Steel John Byrne omnibuses, and they were kind enough to just tell me just to keep it. So I've been
Nice.
reading that, and this from the right after Crisis, late '80s, and there is a subplot in there, and I haven't seen how it develops yet because there's only been a couple of things. I sent a couple screen caps to Shea. There's a subplot in there where Superman is planning to bang Jimmy Olsen's mom because in that canon, I am not kidding you. This I'd never heard of it. Jimmy Olsen is like 16 in that canon, and then he brings Jimmy Olsen to his mom's house, like he delivers him home, and his mom says, "Oh, I had Jimmy when I was 18," and they start flirting, and then
Nice.
Jimmy Olsen gets all excited about his mom marrying Superman, and Clark Kent starts talking about like, "Oh, I'm definitely gonna be seeing her again." It was really inappropriate.
But then he thinks to himself, like, wait a minute, if this goes anywhere and Jimmy's going to be my stepson, I'm going to have to walk around with that ginger and be seen with him.
Well, he'll look better that way. It's gonna make
So
him
he
look
just
better.
like, no, he doesn't want anyone to think that that's his kid.
Well, I mean, look at his hair. There's no way that's Clark Kent's son.
He's like,
That
this
is
isn't my
ridiculous
guy.
hair. So I guess Clark Kent didn't get a raise because even though he helped everybody get their scoops, he didn't get his own scoop because he's secretly Superman.
He doesn't have time to write in his blog.
Wait, what?
Yes. This is going to read a lot easier if you acknowledge that Clark Kent and Superman are the same person.
You know,
All
like
right, I'll
this,
play along.
the theme in this beginning here is just as how Superman and Clark Kent are utter failures in their
Yes.
lives.
Yes, which is never brought back around. The first page is just everyone in Clark Kent and Superman's lives telling him what a failure he's been, and he's just absorbing it.
Yep.
It does also start out saying several times, this is not real.
They're going out to eat, and Perry White looks at Clark and says, "Poor Clark, so ashamed. He
can't
just
face
can't
it."
face us."
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would have thought if I was in his position.
I could crush all of these people like ants if I was
Yeah.
Superman. How does he put
Yeah.
up with this shit?
Yeah, the trembling of his fist is starting to like shake apart the foundations
Yeah.
around him.
He could just destroy everything in any
Right.
moment.
What if he
Oh
just
my
did
God.
that? What if he didn't get his raise and he just laser beamed everyone in the room? He just spun around and just laser beamed everybody.
We could just shake down everybody for their raises every week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So then he gets called away to talk to the people of the bottle city of Kandor. Kandor was a city that Brainiac shrunk down, a city from Krypton that he shrunk down and preserved into a bottle. Superman promised to get them out of that bottle, has yet to do it.
Yeah. So they call him up and just pretty much go, "You're a bitch."
Yeah, like, hey, you know how you're supposed to? You said you were going to do this. And it's been 6 years.
Hey, assholes. I'm Superman. I got shit to do.
Yeah, well, you haven't done any of that shit either. And they list off the stuff he has not
Oh my God.
accomplished.
So, like, they threaten Superman, right?
Yeah.
They say, like, if you you said you were going to do all these things, that you were going to make the bottled city of Kandor big again. You were going to cure Kryptonians of kryptonite poisoning. You were going to stop all evil on the planet Earth, and you didn't do any of that shit.
I mean, those were big goals. Like, you got to start modest.
So like
Well, he shouldn't have promised it then.
so they say to him, like, we'll give you 6 months to do all these things. If not, we're going to replace you. So are they going to like how are they going to replace Superman? Because like that would mean that they know how to make people big.
I
Or
think they
small.
might be able to. Yeah, they might be able to bring one of them out and size
What?
them up, but I
Then
don't know.
do
I
it
don't
one
know.
at a time.
I don't know. I don't know. But also, they got nowhere to go because
I think they were going to replace them with a tiny dude.
I just wish Superman. I wish when they offered this ultimatum, Superman just went, "Yeah, let's see you fucking try. Go on."
He just leaves the room and turns the lights off.
like, what do you? Seriously, I'm gonna unscrew the light bulb that hangs above your bottle that you all pray to.
He's like,
fuck
yeah,
you
you know all
guys.
that water you guys like?
Yeah. Fuck this. I'm letting crypto lap that shit up. Fuck this.
Yeah. He goes, Kara, you deal with him.
Assholes.
And he flies off into space. he doesn't get his raise. Like the Kryptonians in the little bottle town that he has in his house are talking shit to him. So he just bails. His whole like life sucks.
Yeah. No, this is not cool. This is not cool at all.
It's like, I'm a god.
But apparently Superman decides, all right, I just feel bad about this. I really have failed everybody, so I'm going to make some efforts to get all this shit done over the course of the next 6 months. So I guess he's got a brain evolution machine he's been working on that's powered by the various types of kryptonite.
I could really use that machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely use it, but also it's incredibly dangerous, which is why he hasn't been using it up to this point.
I'll try it.
Yeah, why not? Try anything. Try any pill. Try any drug.
Yeah.
Try
Out for Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, right. I want to be Dr. Manhattan.
No, wait,
for
he got
sure.
trapped.
He did get trapped. Well,
Never mind,
I mean,
it wasn't a
depending
try.
on depending on how you look at time, he got trapped, or that was just fate.
Or he's always been trapped.
He's always been in that booth.
Yep.
So he decides to strap himself in to this weird machine.
It's got 4 different colors of kryptonite.
Yes, it does.
And then he's going to use that to make his brain stronger.
Yeah, but it just
Now-
looks like a bunch of Play-Doh.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
it looks like Play-Doh or colorful potatoes. Yeah, and it says, first of all, it's going to make him 100 times smarter than he already is. And keep in mind, he already has an accelerated super brain.
Like, why didn't
So-
he do that a long time ago?
Because it was dangerous.
Okay, so I was gonna like risk blowing his
I like
mind
that
away.
because the Kandorians talk shit on him. Yeah.
Yeah, these
You-
tiny little.
I've done some pretty
fuckers.
dramatic shit because someone talked shit on me and I had to get back about it. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's-
get it.
Superman has like an orphan complex.
Of course he does. He was the
Or-
last survivor of his planet. He's
Yeah,
the
right, and
ultimate
but then he meets all these other people that are part of his like group, and he's just
Yeah.
he's just sucking up to him, even though he's way better than they are.
Yeah. So they do this, and the machine explodes and splits him into 2 Supermans, and they get used to this real quick.
Yeah, he's Superman. He's done a lot of weird shit.
Yeah, it's just fine. So he's split into 2, Red Superman and Blue Superman. Mm-hmm. And
Red Superman believes in family values
Yep,
and
traditional marriage.
fiscal economic policies,
I can kind of get behind that. And then
and small government.
and Superman Blue is a bleeding heart lib.
Or what? No, he has the exact same beliefs that the Red Superman has, but he just feels bad about having them.
Oh, he's got white guilt. Even though he's not technically white, he's Kryptonian.
Yeah. That's why they immediately start working together.
We got to get over this. So they dress. So one is dressed entirely in a red Superman suit. The other's dressed entirely in a blue Superman suit. But they both have the same Superman symbol, which does have red in it, which is weird. So Superman Blue has some red on him, which is weird.
Yeah, and Superman Red puts his MAGA hat on.
He's got it emblazoned on the back of his cape.
Yeah, and they both
Although
have.
at this time, that was probably like people looking and going, communist.
Yeah, right. Well, sort of.
It's funny how what red means politically has changed.
Yeah,
over 50,
right.
70 years. Like, it was a very different thing.
Right, we take it back, red.
We were taking back red for the white man.
Superman and Blue Superman and Red Superman have halos of mathematical equations.
They do. And apparently, they mentioned this happened before because of red kryptonite and it turned them evil, but now they're both good. Which one is bizarre. How do you know you're both good?
Well, they're 100 times smarter, so they probably realize nothing matters, and they both fly away.
Yeah, that could be. Well, I actually went looking because I was trying to figure out when this happened before, and I couldn't find it. The nearest that I think I could find was Adventure Comics number 255, but it happened to Superboy, not Superman, and he didn't exactly turn evil. He just fought with himself. So I don't know. It was like two angry brothers. I don't know. But that happened, and so now they have mathematical theorems floating around their heads, and they're apparently 100 times smarter than they were before, which would put them so beyond human understanding. They would have trouble even functioning in this reality.
Mm-hmm.
But so they shake hands. They decide to call themselves Superman Blue and Superman Red, and they're going to work together and get Kandor back to size.
Yep. Or they're going to make a machine to destroy reality because nothing matters.
We'll solve all these issues, but first, we're going to look at each other naked, because that's not something you ever actually get to do in real life. So
right?
you'd be foolish not to take advantage of it.
He finally can find, he has another person that can withstand his true
They can
force.
go at it. They spend days just going
He just
at
asks him if he can come inside him because it's
You
the
don't need
only
to.
time he'll ever be able to.
it.
Yeah,
You don't need
right.
to ask. You know he's cool with it because you're cool with it.
Yeah, right.
It
Right.
just
They have
goes
to. They just have to find an empty patch of space so they don't destroy everything around them.
Yeah.
Supergirl keeps coming back asking if they're done and ready to work on this Kandor thing, and they just keep saying a couple more hours, just a couple more hours. It's been going on
Because
for
we
like
got
a month.
6. We got 6 months.
We're 100 times smarter than we used to be. We'll figure this shit out in an afternoon.
Let us get it out of our system.
I mean, if you could get at your own body, like you never really get to see your own body.
No, I
You
wouldn't.
had the chance to really get at it, you'd get
No.
at it. Yeah, I wanna
The
get
worst
at
part of sex is I'm involved.
So anyway, they get started to work on some equations, and they're using Brainiac's enlarging ray gun that I guess they couldn't get working before, but now that they're super smart, they can get it going.
Yeah, they realize it's just pellets. It's all made of pellets, and we should have thought of that before.
Of course, pellets. Well, it's the
I'm
60s.
I'm not kidding. That's what they do.
Pellets were new technology at the time. Yeah, ray force pellet. And Superman Blue's like, dude, I can totally make a ray force pellet. This is easy as shit.
He goes, bro, I got pellets.
Yep.
What you need?
And Supergirl's studying for her business degree. So
Yeah,
she can
right.
write up contracts with the devil.
You know what I love is that Superman hooks himself up to a brain machine, right? And becomes exponentially smarter. The first thing of course, as you will notice throughout the comic, is he doesn't go back to work.
No.
like that whole part of his life, Clark Kent
Is
having
dead.
a job, having a bank account. He's like, I don't need any of that shit. It's
Which
such a
is-
huge waste of my time.
Which is funny because there's two of them now, so one of them could just go be Clark Kent.
Nah.
They've decided neither of them are going to be Clark
They're not
Kent.
even going to give each other names. They're still calling each
They
other
just want to be
Superman
Super-
Red
that's how
and
much,
Superman Blue.
That's how much being Clark Kent sucks. Is
Yeah.
that, like, dude, we can totally make this work now, but instead we both want to be Superman.
That like part of his life in the beginning, that story to tell us how much of a failure he is as a
Fuck that.
reporter.
Burn it
That
down.
we never go back to that.
No.
that
got no
that
time
like
for this shit.
that problem is never resolved because he's smart enough to realize having a job is bogus.
Yeah, and he can just take his money now. He doesn't need
Yeah.
to fucking
And then
pay
they
her what's
literally
raised.
become God and create a planet.
Yeah.
They do. So yeah, they take some mysterious elements from outer space, they hurl them together, and it creates a planetoid that starts pulling all the kryptonite in the world back to it.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and we just have to accept it because they're smarter than us.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how planets are formed, like over billions of years, like
Yeah.
rocks crash into each other until they become
Well, yeah,
big
but
enough.
the rocks don't draw their same parts
Yeah,
back.
Well, I
Where's
mean, I don't. Maybe they have a certain understanding of gravity now that we don't, because they're 100 times smarter.
Yeah, really, they get to shoot down any criticism you have. Like
Yeah.
just saying, I'm 100 times smarter. I was already smarter than you when I was normal Superman. Now I'm 100 times smarter, and there's two of me.
He's like, yeah, you're mid.
Yeah, what are the chances that you're right about anything?
0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit down, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Shut your
bitch.
mouth.
Flicks his forehead. Yeah. So
Kick his
I
ass,
wish this
Superman
story
Red.
was Flowers for Algernon style, though, and then he just gradually gets dumber again.
Oh, I'm sure that story was told in the Silver Age. I guarantee you that.
So this is the thing that's fucked up, though, is that they're still in the normal solar system.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're in our
Right.
solar system.
Yeah.
Them
So yellow sun.
adding another planetary body.
The tides are destroyed.
Yeah,
Oh my
like
gosh,
the
yes.
gravitational alignment of all the other planets.
Well, they'll
are gonna
show
be
later that
disrupted.
they give zero fucks about the environment.
Yeah.
Or changing it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all beneath them.
So like they create this planet, right? And it's got water, it's got atmosphere, and so they bring in the bottled city of Kandor and they enlarged it.
They enlarged it. Yeah, and so now we can see that Kandor is a city where all the buildings are made out of butt plugs.
Yep, every single one of them.
Every single one of them is just a butt plug that he threw in
Looks
that bottle.
just like the cover of The Little Mermaid.
Kinda
Yeah.
does. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit of that.
So like here, Superman Red and Superman Blue are just jerking each other off.
Yeah. I mean, they'd have to stop periodically to do that. They can't
mean-
resist their urges.
They probably should like congratulate each other. I mean, what they did was, you know, a feat that's probably never been done in the history of the universe.
They did it in like an hour.
Yeah, they had 6 months to do all these things.
Yeah. Well, they spent the first 5 months fucking around, literally. Now
Yeah.
it's time to get to work.
Superman's great.
Yeah, Superman is the best. So they size up all the Kandorians, but now because they're in a yellow sun environment, they all have superpowers. All right?
Yeah.
So like they're all Supermen, a planet of Supermen.
Yep. He's like, all right, now don't fly to Earth and fuck it up.
Yeah, yeah. This can't possibly go wrong. This has never gone wrong before. It's never been a problem.
So the Kryptonians believe that the planet that Superman gave them wasn't good enough. So they start pounding rocks together with their super strength to make crystal pillars.
They tell Superman, "Hey, this is great, but we don't have all of our pillars and shit.
He's just like, all right, well, start slamming into them until
Yeah.
you got them.
Kick rocks, dickheads."
He goes, I just made you a planet and you guys have the same powers as me now. Like, figure
Yeah.
it out.
Fuck, man. They don't stop asking.
You still want me to do things. Well, there's two of you.
But they both stick around.
If you give a Kandorian a planet,
Yeah.
they'll
yeah.
ask for infrastructure.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
like, if Superman Blue's like, listen, guys, I don't think you want Superman Red hanging around. He's going to try to take away your abortion rights.
So then Superman Red forces everybody to grow crops,
Yeah.
and he makes them rebuild their scarlet jungle.
Yeah. I think what they're doing is he created the naturally growing plants of Krypton, and now they're going to like irrigate the soil of the new planet with the plants that are native to their world.
Right.
Sure.
And then they just grew in seconds.
Yeah.
Right. I thought Krypton was a gigantic planet in comparison to Earth, and that's why they were super strong.
I hadn't heard that. I mean, I guess I could see how that would affect their,
I thought that was the
ability to deal with
explanation of
gravity.
Superman's strength, was that he's from a planet that's bigger.
I hadn't heard
No,
that
it's
it was
the
about
yellow
his-
sun.
I know, but I thought that was just a part of it.
I don't know.
That's why he could leap tall buildings into a single bound, because he's from a planet with super heavy gravity.
I could see that. I don't know. I don't know specifically that I'd heard that the gravity was heavier, but that would make sense.
Maybe I just
Yeah.
assumed.
Yeah, it could have been an
I
assumption.
mean,
on
it's
that,
a fair assumption.
but we
Right,
don't
so-
know
It
that-
makes logical sense.
It might be big.
If that's the case, then New Krypton is going to also be like a super Earth, like so big that is definitely going to fuck up the gravitational alignment of the solar system.
They should have just put it in Jupiter's place.
Yeah, shit, man, you can't do any of these things. Like
Like,
really, you
get rid of
shouldn't.
well, Jupiter is just gas, right? It's not really like a hard, like it doesn't have actually Terra, correct?
Yeah,
So Superman could just blow it away and move.
yeah,
New
that
Krypton
won't
into
cause some
place.
problems.
Well, they've already destroyed the entire ecosystem of the galaxy.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Use
Well, it
them
doesn't
super
matter
lungs.
anyway because the Kryptonians once again aren't happy
Yeah.
because they have superpowers.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, now we gotta have superpowers. We can't go back to our normal life, which really their normal life is still the same because they're all relatively at the same strength level as one another. So
What
who
if,
cares?
what if like Superman and Blue Superman and Red Superman are like super smart but now super fucked up, and they plan on having the story of Krypton continue even to the point where it blows up? Like they made it exactly like Krypton.
Maybe that's what the original Krypton was.
Yeah, just there's two Supermen.
Yeah.
It's like a cycle.
Just fucking around, yeah.
There's two Supermen. They create Krypton. The Krypton is destroyed. They send a baby. That baby goes to a planet. becomes two Supermen, creates Krypton, and then like onward and onward.
It seems like that's sort of like a metaphor for cell division.
Yeah.
That's just the birth of the universe.
Panspermia,
Yeah.
they call it.
Wow. So yeah, that's how the first chapter of this story ends, and it was great.
Yep.
It was
And then
fantastic.
chapter 2, Superman gets that raise. Hold on now. Nope. Go back up.
We gotta
Go
look
back
at
up.
this.
So I really want to do this Batman comic.
Yep, a giant size
Because of the
annual.
Robin
Giant.
costume.
There's a lot of things that that I'm fascinated with about that I would like to do. It's called Giant Batman Annual. And yeah, we're gonna do this one day.
Oh no, this is
No.
full of the shit that James hates and
Yeah, this is
We don't have to do it right
all
away.
Batman stuff.
It could be 6 months from now. It could be a year from now. I would just
Yeah.
like to do this comic.
It's so this is just, and I don't necessarily hate it. I have some of these Silver Age stories. They're fun once in a while, but they're all exactly the same.
Can
There's
I
a-
read out the different Batman?
Yes, please.
Yeah. We have Giant Batman.
Yep.
We have Zebra Batman.
Yeah.
Phantom Batman. Rip Van Batman.
Rip Van Batman has like an old man's beard.
Yeah, he's got a Rip Van Winkle beard.
And Merman
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 There's also
Yep.
like the grown-up boy wonder, and he's dressed like a stripper.
A little bit.
He's like he's like a Hawkman cosplayer.
Hawkman, he cut off the legs and exposed his legs. Yeah.
When you look at
Because
Giant
God
Batman,
forbid that man cover his legs.
so like Giant Batman is holding on to Robin, but it looks like he like blew into Robin's mouth and expanded him like a balloon.
Yeah. No,
I see that. Oh no,
yeah.
it looks like he might be tossing him up and down.
I think Tiny Robin is like he's shielding his ears because Giant Batman is so loud that it's
Oh,
shattering
yeah,
his
right.
eardrums. Right. I'm sure it's a great story.
All right, no, what's hurting his ears is Batman's. He's much bigger, and his heartbeat is increased because he's noticing Robin with those little tights.
Yeah. Yes.
And the sound of that
heartbeat
is-
deafening.
Yeah,
It's the telltale heart. Sure.
I knew I'd get it out. I knew I'd get that thought
Get-
out
get
somehow.
Get around to that. All right. So we're moving into part 2. It's called the Anti-Evil Ray. And the ethics get real questionable here. First of all, I want to point out this is from the era where Brainiac dressed really smart.
Yeah, he was a
Brainiac,
slick dude.
He's got kind of like a John Arbuckle long sleeve polo kind of look.
Yeah.
He's got like a salmon colored polo with white collar. And yeah, I mean, it looks good. It's a
He's
good
like
look.
Mr. Rogers when he comes in. He changes his shoes and
Yeah.
takes off his like
Yeah.
outdoor sweater and puts on
I
his
don't know.
pro
I'm
sweater.
a fan of Brainiac in the surgeon's outfit.
Yeah, Surgeon Brainiac is good. Just Virus Brainiac is good. Metal, like Metallic Brainiac. So a lot of great versions of Brainiac. And so we're going to come to that in a second. But in the meantime, Superman Red and Superman Blue are doing more shit.
Yep, they go back to the Daily Planet and they're like, "All right, we're gonna get some payback for not getting that raise."
Well, I thought they were coming back to formally quit their job.
They're coming back now.
You haven't been here in 5 months.
Just gonna rough up the owner a little bit. Not give me a raise, huh?
They're going to put up their own sign.
Hold his arms, Red.
Put up their own sign that just says Clark Kent, $5 billion a week raise.
Best reporter ever.
There's a sign for you, bitch. So they head back. Actually, what were they doing there?
I don't know.
Like, they're there for 2 panels. We don't really know why they were there. Oh no, they're not at the Daily Planet at all. They're talking to the Kandorians who have decided, yeah, we want to go back to. We want you to take our planet that you just made for us and move it over to the galaxy that
Yeah.
we're used to.
And they're like, yeah, we knew you were going to say that. So we already put you on a track.
We kind of
for
already did it.
You know, they use the word galaxy incorrectly in this comic book quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like they so they said that they were going to send Krypton back to their home galaxy by setting them on an orbit where they would eventually get there.
It's a very
Right?
strong orbit.
Right? How that would take, like, let's say even if that was possible to do that, it would take trillions of years,
They've
if ever.
accelerated time. They created a planet in an afternoon.
I mean, this is like, don't worry, you're on an orbit. So, like, is it going to like crash into our planets on its way out there and a bunch of other planets?
Yeah, it's going incredibly fast.
Bro, you're not going to escape the gravity of the galaxy. You're not fucking doing that, dude.
They're doing it. They're doing it.
Aren't the galaxies like getting further and further apart too?
I mean, isn't the universe ever expanding? So by definition, they would have to be, right?
Yeah, like how the fuck is that planet getting there? How are they leaving the galaxy?
I mean, look, they're 100 times smarter than they were before this.
Bro.
They know what's going on.
Bro,
So-
I mean, I guess they can make like a Stargate, but it's like, how the fuck you make a Stargate big enough to push a planet through?
They probably figured all that shit out, and they're just telling them, oh yeah, we put you in orbit, but really they're throwing you through a wormhole. Like, they know. They figured it. They're not going to bother explaining to these plebeian Kandorians how the science works. Idiot Kandorians. Couldn't get out of a fucking bottle for 6 years.
Yeah, right? How come you didn't solve your own
Yeah.
problem? And Red Superman goes, pull yourselves up from your bootstraps.
Fucking butt plug city down there. Fuck you guys. So they go back to
Yeah, it
the
was probably Blue Superman's idea to make him a planet.
Blue Superman's like, I have an idea. Let's raise taxes on the middle class.
So they go back to the Fortress of Solitude, and Supergirl has made a model Kandor in a bottle as a souvenir, I guess, which seems
Well,
kind of fucked up.
Well, like Red Superman and Blue Superman are confused because they think that
It's
the
Bag.
bottle city is Bag, and everything they just did was an illusion.
Which
Yeah,
their
it's-
brains are, they've just been bragging about how fucking smart they are.
I think they've broken through the barrier of fantasy and illusion, so it's hard for them to tell the distinction anymore because it's
Yeah,
all
it's like-
equally true to them.
He's what if he's like still hooked up to the brain machine and he's just fried?
I honestly thought that was how this was going to end. He comes out of the brain machine, and because this is nonsense. But anyway,
Yeah, if Kid fries him, they're like, "Do you think Superman will ever wake up?" And then Supergirl, like upset, she like backs in the table and knocks over the tiny city of Kandor, killing all the Kandorians.
So we go back to the unsolved super problems list, and now they've solved the first two, which were restore Kandor to normal size and find an antidote to green kryptonite, which is because when the kryptonite came out of the oceans of Earth and whatnot and reassembled on New Krypton, it somehow made it not radioactive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
So now they just have to go on to number 3, which is wipe out crime and evil.
But they can't do it yet because a mermaid is calling them.
Yep. A random mermaid.
It's
Yep.
Lori the mermaid.
Hurry the mermaid. Superman. It's Lori.
She's a pre-existing character, Lori the mermaid.
Right? But
And,
Superman can't understand her because from his perspective, it's just.
Well,
Well,
he should definitely be able to understand her then, because he has the bigger brain, so he probably understands all language.
He was like, I finally understand what this lady's saying.
Yeah, he can
Yeah, that's
calculate.
probably
Yeah,
more.
he can calculate the AI algorithm to de-bubblify her voice. So the Atlanteans say, hey, we saw what you did for the Kandorians, so why don't you drop all your shit right now and find us a planet to live on that won't treat us like weirdo freaks.
And Superman goes, you didn't see nothing, and turns the monitor off.
That's another thing as we'll see as this progresses. Apparently, everybody has monitors everywhere at all times, and nobody has a problem with this.
And it's just randomly looking at whatever.
Yeah, just looking at whatever you want to look at. So they drop everything they're doing to go scout the universe for a planet that will be hospitable to the Atlanteans.
So what they do is they fire a projector in the back of both their heads to scan through their memories of every planet they've ever seen.
Yep, directly into the bald spots at the crown of their heads.
Right,
And they
None?
both think of the same planet.
Yeah, I know Waterworld. He goes, yeah, Waterworld would be pretty tight.
Yeah.
The water place.
Well, actually,
no.
they look at it and go, well, no, there's not enough water. So they decide to take this planet and melt their polar
Well,
ice
hang-
caps.
Hang
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's like Total Recall.
Hang on. This is not a real this is a memorial world of Krypton, like a replica statue planet that they made. There's nobody on it.
Oh, so Superman's made a planet before.
Yeah, but it took him like 2 days. This is something he had to do over a weekend.
Like, how did he?
Oh,
I thought
okay.
he needed two Supermen to throw rocks at each other.
He can do it. It's just slower. He's also got a dog to help him.
Oh yeah, his dog helped him.
That'll come in a second. But so they
Why
take this
didn't they just put the Kandorians on the memorial planet?
Because it's made of styrofoam. It's not a real planet.
It's gonna fall apart. The infrastructure is terrible.
And he doesn't give a shit about these mermaids.
So yeah,
It
they
just
found-
looks like a science fair project.
He's
They
like, so
found-
we want to. So Superman Red, what do you want to do about the mermaid people? He goes, man, I wonder if anyone could live on that styrofoam world we made.
They're like, oh, I might as well find out. I don't care about those Atlanteans, do you? Fuck no.
Yeah, fuck no, I'm racist against these Atlanteans. Oh, Superman Red.
It's okay for us to hate Atlanteans. We're Kryptonians.
Superman Blue's like, I hate him too, but I just don't tell anybody.
So they decide they're going to melt the ice caps in this memorial planet to flood it so that the Atlanteans can live there, but they need a little extra help, so they call in a dog.
Yeah, they call in that dog, and they all melt the polar ice caps on the styrofoam world.
Yeah. Crypto the dog shows up and says, "Oh, I don't know why there are two Supermen, but they sound exactly like my old master, so I'll just do what they say." I guess.
Yeah, right. A dog wouldn't think too much about it.
No, dog wouldn't give a shit.
I mean,
Dog just wants his treats.
That's some good writing.
Good. That's really got in the head of that dog.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That's
Really
pretty much how a dog would think.
What makes a dog tick? Yeah. Ticks often. It's often actual ticks.
Good job, writers. That's the best writing I've ever seen in my life.
High quality Superman adventure. So they work together. They use their heat vision to melt the ice caps. They flood all these cities, cause all kinds of destruction on the model city, and they tell the Atlanteans, "Yeah, you can live there amongst the ruins we made."
Little did they know is that a species saw it and colonized it, and it's been living there for the last 10 years, and Superman just killed them all.
What the hell, Superman?
He just apocalypsed these people.
Yeah.
He said this was a gift.
He's like, no one was living here.
I forgot all about you guys.
So he makes another Atlantis.
Yeah, so like, yeah, he does. He did.
He just created. What are you mocking us? Are you mocking the proud people of Atlantis?
He's just like, because they're super smart though, so they have a super irony.
Yes. You'll appreciate the humor of this someday, Atlanteans.
Like this
when
is
you're a
gonna be
little
some.
more evolved.
He goes, hey, let's do some Twilight Zone shit with the Atlanteans.
We're really gonna fuck with these guys.
He's like, right, sick.
Well, in fairness, the Atlanteans are pretty greedy because now they're saying like, well, how are we gonna get there, Superman? Did you think of that?
Yeah. So what they do is they create a what's it called when you have like a water
A
tornado?
vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
there's
a
like a water vortex.
Yeah,
There's
like a
term.
vortex. So he creates one that will connect the memorial world and Earth, but that would still take like they would all be long dead by the time they got there.
It's
And
just
they're how would you keep it open?
Where I think the implication is that they did this in like an hour. Because otherwise, the planet Earth is going to spin to the point where the water cyclone is no longer on water. It's going to be on land eventually. Look at it as it's turning. Eventually, it's going to hit Mexico.
Dude, the people living on that world, like they're going to consider this their Noah's flood.
And they do say that as the Atlanteans are going, they're like, dude, nobody's going to believe this in the future. Like this is going to sound like goofy bullshit.
He's like, you think we'll have dicks on the new world, or am I going to be stuck with this stupid tail thing?
I mean, there might be a dick buried in there under some scales. I don't know how that works.
All right. I wouldn't mind burying some dick.
Yeah, burying some Atlantean dick. I've seen those Jason Momoa pictures. I'll
Yeah,
take a little
right.
bit of that. I'll take a slice. You can cut me off a slice of that.
What an attractive man.
He's an attractive man. Seems like a good guy. Got a good
Yeah.
attitude to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a winner.
Yeah.
He
things
should
have
play
worked out
all
well
the
for him.
DC characters.
Well, there's rumor he might get recast as Lobo.
Great.
There are rumors that he might end up as Lobo. We'll see.
Great.
Again, by the time this episode
that's
drops, we
perfect.
might know that.
Yeah, but that's cool. That's a good idea.
That's what the fans wanted, and now it's always the right thing to just do whatever the fans say. Always.
Yeah.
Fans
Whatever-
are
yeah.
geniuses.
I mean, who else is going to play that dude? He's like the perfect
Lobo?
guy. Yeah,
I
he's
mean, I'm not going to deny he's the perfect fit. It's just I hate to just give into fan demand because fans
Come
are
on,
so
those
stupid.
Those
but,
Aquaman movies are going to be terrible.
well, they're already good, but it doesn't matter. The point is they're making billions of dollars on those things, and I don't know. Maybe they can make billions of dollars on Lobo movies. I don't know.
Yeah, of course they will.
All of this could be just bullshit and hearsay that doesn't come true. So
And if we last that long.
yeah, you know, Mike, I think it might be time to start betting on us not dying any day now because you've been hinging a lot on that for a lot of years now.
How about we say like our priorities will change that we just don't make these movies anymore.
I mean, if our priorities for the better or worse, because I could see our priorities changing to the point where like we can't make movies because we got to figure out how to get bread,
Yeah.
and live,
Yeah.
or we have transcended and we've moved to another phase of human consciousness and we have no need for movies.
Yeah, or that.
All right, I'm kind of hoping for that one, honestly.
Yeah, that one sounds great.
I
Unless
was,
it's like a VR headset thing and you're just drooling in your house.
I was actually reading an article on Bleeding Cool, and I almost made this into a Boom Patrol, but it wasn't boomy enough. It was about comic book creators and their feelings on AI art, because there's some really impressive AI art happening now where you can actually just put in commands and get art that actually looks like it was made by a given artist. Like it's pretty incredible. And I have to say, most of the creators were pretty open-minded about it, and we're understanding that like this is just the next evolution. It makes me think like, well, if the AI can start mimicking what humans can do, then doesn't that force humans to come up with new things that only humans can do? And isn't that sort of like propelling us forward to a new stage in human evolution? Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what we come up with next.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, I'll play this for myself.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Yeah.
Nice.
Al Pacino, dude.
Yeah.
Greatest living actor.
Greatest living screamer.
Dude, he just he was at the Video Game Awards for no reason as a presenter, and he was really fucking weird about it.
I like the whole point of that was to get back on schedule and get back on track. And then we just headed to another tangent.
all right, I
right.
surrender.
Nah, I don't care. I don't give a shit. So Superman Red, Superman Blue, they get all the Atlanteans on the planet, and they say, please finally leave us alone for 5 fucking seconds now. And they do.
Yep. Yeah, right. So they create a ray that makes beings stop being evil.
Which, first of all, means that there is a scientific definition of what evil is.
Yes.
Right.
So there's these 2 ants that are trying to kill each other.
Not
and
to be confused with 2 uncles.
Yeah, right. And Superman shoots them with his Be Nice ray, and they stop trying to eat each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I have an issue with this.
Okay.
Because the point of this is then obviously to then spread the beam everywhere and get rid of all evil thoughts.
Sure.
They think we're the equivalent of essentially insects. Like it's okay to fuck with us that much.
Well,
because
Superman-
they're
From
so
their
smart.
perspective.
He's
their
he's 100 times more intelligent. He's the most intelligent being in existence right now.
Listen, I'm nowhere near as intelligent as Superman, and I still kind of feel that way now.
Yeah, I think that should be. As long as I get to decide what is
Yeah.
morally right.
I mean, there are definitely some ant people in this world from my perspective.
If I had access to a machine that would brainwash the entire world into doing what I think is right, I would totally do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think most of us would.
I mean, I would think about it. Like, I wouldn't just do it. I would put a lot of thought into
Well, that's
it.
the thing. You have to think about it. There's zero thought in this.
You know, Superman's been he
He's
can
been thinking
think
about it for a
so
while.
much. He can think so much faster than us. He's right to do this.
It's funny because he was taking everybody's abuse and bullshit in the beginning of the story and not executing his will on them. And now he's going to execute his will on the entire galaxy.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting.
Yep.
So they set up a bunch of satellites to broadcast these rays everywhere, and suddenly shoplifters are returning what they stole, and the escaped convicts want to get back into prison. Everybody wants to do their fair share. Everybody wants to help society function correctly.
Yeah, I love how in America, the escaped prisoners go back to jail because they feel bad about escaping, but in Cuba, the Cubans
release.
are releasing their prisoners because them holding prisoners is bad, and the president of Russia
Right.
throws his nuclear weapons into
Into the
the
sea.
sea, but
Right.
the Americans don't have to.
Right, because American law is correct. What is your...
Yeah, what issues are you having here?
yeah, I
Mike?
don't see... America got it right. Everybody else got it wrong.
Yeah,
Done.
right? Or it's wrong to steal money because it's
Yeah.
it's with just the act of having money itself. Like I would eliminate as an evil.
See, they say it's not that money is the root of evil, it's that the love of money is the root of evil. So if you don't love the money, you just use it. It's not that big of a deal.
I know, but there's an incentive thing where if we're doing stuff where you're incentivized to screw people over or to hoard, like those are things, those are values we shouldn't be.
But not
We shouldn't be
everybody.
encouraging.
But not everybody feels incentivized to misuse that.
Right, but it's not a matter of that, and not everyone does. It's that if you can, then that's a flaw in the system. Like the system
Well-
shouldn't allow for something like that to happen.
But that would require every human to be
Yes.
identical because
Well, it would mean that we'd have to rebuild our value system from the ground up.
okay, universal consciousness shift. Yeah,
Something like
what
that,
I've been calling for that for over 200 episodes now. But in light of that, I'll just take some smart economic policy.
Hey, look at Superman Blue over here.
Until we get there.
Dark Side's Couch, the most transhumanistic podcast out.
Proudly transhumanistic, yes.
Yeah, me too. I want to shed this meat prison.
But I'm more realistic about it, and I'm willing to wait through the baby steps to get there instead of Mike's bullshit accelerationist policy of just let's do it right now and kill everyone in the process.
Let's do it right now and not kill everyone. It's just like, all right, like let's get this going.
All right. So this it turns out that the rays are even more powerful. That they're even landing outside of Earth, and so Brainiac is about to attack, but then he gets hit by the ray, and he goes, "Oh, what the hell are we doing? I don't want to do this," and he decides to leave the planet alone.
Well, he destroys his own death bots, so it's not evil to destroy your own robots. Like the robots probably didn't want to be destroyed.
Who cares? They're robots.
Yeah. Well, come on. What's a robot?
Exactly. What's a robot? Who cares? Nothing.
No, I mean, like, what's the difference between, like, where a human is just a meat robot?
Well, can the robot make good AI art?
I don't know what the robots can do. They've been destroyed.
If it's a great artist, I say it's sentient and we need to respect it.
I love this. Like, see, look, they're heading back to their own galaxy. Like, no, they're not. It's the same galaxy. These writers are just. Did they not know what galaxies were in like 1950s?
Well, this is the 60s, but yeah, they don't have Wikipedia. They can't check this stuff.
Yeah, there's not. I can't go on YouTube and learn about aliens creating people.
Seriously,
in prehistory.
So then we see Lex Luthor. In order to make up for all of his sins, he's used his brilliant scientific mind to create a super serum that will cure every known disease.
Yeah, right. He could have done that this whole time.
Yep, but he held back.
Yep.
And the Supermans examine it. They go, yeah, this will actually work. And they start spreading it through the world. And
Anti-vaxxers everywhere cry. Christian scientists everywhere can't drink water anymore.
Yeah, you can't have it.
Superman's like, fuck your beliefs.
I like
Superman
that.
Superman Red would just say that diseases are hoaxes.
I like that we find out that apparently baldness is a disease.
I 100% agree with that. It totally is.
It cures Luthor's baldness. He grows his hair back, so we find out that technically, that is a...
Well, I mean, it also says that it cures blindness and anything crippling.
Yeah, these aren't diseases.
It's like in Star Trek. It's like in Star Trek 4. Do you ever see that movie?
They even say it's an antibiotic.
They go back. The crew of the Enterprise go back in time, and Dr. McCoy is in a hospital, and he sees that this lady's about to get surgery, and he calls modern doctors butchers and just gives her a pill, and I guess like her missing kidney grows back.
Wow, not good for her.
Interesting point.
And then we see that Lex Luthor is reunited with his long-lost sister because now he's not evil, so they can be siblings again. That's great.
That's right, the mother of the super baby.
Yeah, the mother of the super baby from some other issue we did a long time ago.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Supermans come back to the Fortress of Solitude, and they see that apparently Supergirl has had the reverse effect, and she has become evil, and she's releasing all of the villains from the Phantom Zone.
Yep, so they just this eye laser her instantly, vaporizing her.
Yep.
To stop her from releasing more prisoners.
Well, we don't know for a fact that that's what happened.
That's what happens.
The total fabrication.
The end.
No, that's the end of part 2. But before we can get into the exciting conclusion, we've got this other thing that we probably need to look at, huh? A tree grows on 2nd Street.
Mm-hmm.
Do we
Plant
need
trees.
to look at this? Yeah, this is about a group of, I guess, a badger club, which I guess was a thing in the 60s where kids would get together and appreciate trees.
Yeah, I guess.
And their buddy can't leave his house. He got injured, and he has to stay at his house. So these kids got together and got all the zoning permits to plant a tree outside of his house.
How injured did he get? Can't
That's
leave
pretty
his
bad.
house.
That's pretty bad. Well, it says he had an accident and has to stay home for more than a month. So, like, he may have just gotten in trouble as a result of the accident and has been grounded for a month.
By accident, does it mean he got the neighbor girl pregnant?
Did they get like the plans of the layout so that because they even mentioned that the roots won't interfere with the underground pipes? Like, what did these 14-year-olds fucking do?
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
No, I think this comic, what it is, like, is kids are reading comic books, right? And they see this, and they're like, man, I'm nowhere near as capable as these other children. I should step up my game.
Yeah, but really what happens is they say, I'm nowhere near as capable as the other children. I should give up now and
Well,
smoke
that-
marijuana.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's-
All
I
right.
mean, but let's be honest. The kid that got injured, you see him in the window in like
He's-
the last panel. He's
he's the
creepy as
Joker.
fuck looking. Absolutely should be kept inside.
Yeah, that's a problematic
keep your
child.
boy inside.
He's been grounded for a month because he poisoned Gotham's water supply.
He killed the neighbor's cat. And now
really,
the compromise was that he's not allowed to go outside anymore.
He looks like a ginger dummy, like a
Yeah.
like a puppet,
creepy.
like a
Yeah.
dummy.
Super creepy.
Yeah, it's like gingers are like scary looking and kind of weird.
Yeah, he's Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, Jimmy Olsen. Gross.
So anyway, all right. So that's the end of that. And then we're gonna get back to the end of the story, part 3, the end of Superman's career.
Why, listen to what that hate speech thing is. It's just a guy saying unacceptable hate speech.
What? What are we talking about?
That hate speech clip.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah, that's all. It's just a guy accusing someone of using hate speech.
Yeah, but the thing is, okay, here's the thing. Let's say I have that on the Stream Deck. You are going to then want to say something that would justify playing that.
Yeah, probably.
So
I mean, haven't I been?
It's towing the line. Like, I've been tamping it down. Been doing my best. So in this part of the story, we're going to pick up where we left off of part 2, which is Supergirl has apparently turned evil and released everybody from the Phantom Zone, but that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really, it turns out that the Phantom Zone, the anti-evil ray has actually penetrated to the Phantom Zone, and now even the criminals in the Phantom Zone want a chance at redemption.
Yeah, right. Isn't like what they consider evil also like the driving force of human advancement? Was just like humans going around and like conquering each other and like creating new. Like,
Well, yeah, but it
creating,
didn't
like,
have to be that way.
I mean, like, but that's how it usually. All life does that, though.
But it doesn't. But it didn't have to. We didn't have to conquer other.
Usually,
peoples
the
in
most
order-
aggressive animal like survives and is more successful at breeding.
Yes, but that's because those animals weren't intelligent enough to think of a way to advance without doing that.
Well, right, but if this ray is penetrating the world and like the Phantom Zone and everything in low orbit, even the animals are going to be affected by this, and they're going to stop that behavior.
Yeah.
So
this
if
is a
they
great
do,
thing.
well, if they do that, a lot of these species are going to die off.
Yeah, is eating meat evil?
Well, vying for mates, like being the most aggressive male is usually how you do that. So a lot of these animals will just stop breeding.
But no, then other animals will have pity on those animals because that's a kinder, newer way to live.
Come on, you and I both know that's not the way that works.
Again, they've
But
been hit with an anti-evil ray.
I mean, but also again, lions need meat. That's obviously seen as evil to the animal they're eating.
Right. But it would be evil for the lion not to do
Yeah.
that. They got cubs and shit.
And
They gotta-
every vegan thinks that, meat eaters are evil.
Yeah, but like trees have a form of intelligence. They communicate with one another. They like share resources. How come we don't recognize that? The intelligence of a plant.
Yeah,
know,
there's no gray in this.
Where are we on horses or sheep?
Like their horses or sheep?
Yeah, nice.
Well, we know sheep go to heaven.
Sheep do go. Do they? Because and their bodies become fluffy clouds. Is that
Yeah,
what
that's
that is?
that's where the clouds come from.
Wow.
No, sheep go to heaven and goats go to hell.
I'm sorry that you guys don't know because you hadn't increased your brain power by 100 times. So you don't understand that the clouds are just sheeps that died and went to
Just sheep-
heaven.
Yeah, it's just the torsos of sheep. Yeah, that's what that is.
It's actually quite morbid when you count sheep. to
Yeah,
go to
whenever
sleep.
whenever I'm
Yeah.
in a flight and we go through clouds and then just blood splatters throughout the sky,
It's just rotting corpses.
it's horrifying.
Sheep.
Yeah.
That's why people don't like flying.
That's my main problem with flying is all the sheep guts everywhere.
Right? That's like a Stephen King story.
Yeah. So
I'm allergic to wool. Does that mean I'm allergic to sheep?
you're allergic to God's graces.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
The gifts of the earth are you're allergic to. That's not good.
yeah, that's what God wanted for you.
Right. God made it so that was the case.
If somebody knows if I'm allergic to sheep, please tell me.
I would.
Do you
assume
plan on getting
you
a
absolutely have
sheep?
to be. Well, if she can, she might. She wants to know what her options are.
Right? I'm sure that
If I want to hug a sheep, I want to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So anyway, so Supergirl decides that she wants to go live on New Krypton as well. So
Right.
we
Because
gotta
she came
send
to
her
Earth
there.
as a teenager, so she probably like hates all the primitive humans.
Yeah, she had time on Krypton, so she remembers it. She could appreciate it.
She's like, I
Right.
want to go home, dude. And he's like, all
And
right.
yeah, conveniently enough, the Legion of Superheroes shows up and says, "Hey guys, we were just perving on you from the future, watching everything with our futuristic HoloLenses."
Are we to believe that this is the catalyst that created the timeline and for which the Legion of Superheroes could exist?
This moment,
Yes. Superman creating the anti-evil ray, creating New Krypton, all that stuff. Like that, him doing all that is what led to the timeline that brought us to the Legion of Superheroes.
well, the first appearance of this Legion of Superheroes was in they came back to talk to Superboy because Superboy was their inspiration, which is why they all have goofy names that kind of sound like variations of Superboy.
Right, but they went and got Superboy, right? They brought him in the
Right.
future. They taught him how to be better.
Right.
They send him back. He does all this stuff in order to ensure that their timeline happens.
Well, so that would be a closed loop with Superboy, not with Supergirl. Supergirl's got nothing to do with it.
No, that's where she's just going back to Krypton. I'm just bringing up the Legion just shows up.
Yeah, they show up for literally 3 panels
And we've been watching because like we were kind of nail biting if you were going to pull this off.
because the Legion of Superheroes is just the evolution of the NSA. They're just watching everything at all times.
Yeah, but they're incapable of being evil.
Yeah. Yeah. They've been taking their anti-evil pills.
That's right. Those pellets.
So Supergirl goes away, and I think that's all we see of her for the rest of the show, for the rest of the episode, the rest of the issue.
She's gone.
Yep, she's gone. And then Luthor jumps on his video screen, because there's just video screens everywhere.
He looks worse with hair.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
looks like a divorced guy.
He looks better. Yeah, he looks like he's been hanging out a lot at the apartment complex down the
You
street.
know?
Yeah. Some guys just look more powerful with a bald head.
Like, he don't look so good.
No, it's not working out. And he's like, "Hey guys, Superman's Mr. Mxyzptlk is back."
He goes, how do you know? It turns off the TV.
Yeah, because I've been watching. I just turned on my Mr. Mxyzptlk TV that I have specifically for him.
While he's talking, the two Supermans are talking to each other telepathically. Like, I can't even take him seriously anymore with that hair.
Fucking hair. That's the hair, right? Absolutely, the fucking hair.
Like,
Let's
he just
zap
look-
it off his head.
He looks
Yeah.
like a goddamn like shitty plumber
It's evil
now.
not to tell him how bad it looks.
He looks like he's on a bowling team in 1972.
He looks like a politician from the 1950s that was totally looking for communists.
He looks like a guy who's behind on his child support payments.
All right, I think we can all agree he doesn't look good. I think we can all agree this is not a look to go for.
So apparently the good boy ray even
Yep.
penetrates all the way to the 5th dimension.
Which is just your mind. That's just your thought, which I guess does make sense then.
So Mr. Mxyzptlk comes back in time and carves a monument to Superman and all his various animals.
Yes. We're going to see one of them in a moment. Yeah, it turns out that he wants to be good too. And then he voluntarily gets rid of himself by saying his name backwards.
And then the Superman look at each other and go, boy, I'm glad that guy's gone.
Yeah, that guy fucking sucked.
Right?
God. You want to make out again? Sure.
No, but while they're making out, they're thinking of 2 ladies.
Yes. And they're
Yeah, so
but
this
they're both
Ray-
okay with it. Neither of them feel betrayed by that.
So this ray has now gone through the planet, the galaxy, and the dimension.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's penetrated everything. And they don't take a moment to think about how far-ranging these consequences have been.
Yeah, they should have said to themselves, like, man, I didn't realize the ray was going to go that far.
We
I
kinda-
said that earlier.
Yeah, we kind of didn't need to do anything. What? You said it? Well, yeah, I think, okay. Did you need credit?
Well, no, because you guys were arguing with me on it.
Wait, were we? I do not remember this.
I don't remember
zapped
this
out.
either, bro. I think
we
you need to
arguing about this?
I think you need to get the good boy ray shined on you.
Shea's absolutely a good boy, but I don't know what happened
I
here.
was arguing that they need to be like taking time to think these fucking things through.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course, but it's the Silver Age. They were never.
No,
gonna do
they're
that.
just like, so now they look at each other. They're like, all right, well, everything is cool in the universe. I suppose we could like marry our side chicks. They're like, yeah, I guess
Yes.
so.
And by the way, they haven't run this by the women at all. They've
Nope.
just decided, well, since there's two of us and we've loved both Lana Lang and Lois Lane, we'll just divvy them up right down the middle.
He goes, all right, that's pretty based.
Because
And then
that's
they
how you
fist
treat
bump.
women.
And Blue Superman says, I'll take the top halves. Because they're not human and they don't understand.
It's like, all right, okay.
I'll take the legs. I don't care.
Like, all right.
I've
all
always
right,
thought
bro.
those mer women are hot.
Yeah, dude.
whatever.
Just whoever takes the head has to listen to twice the bitching.
Oh, God. Nope. Inappropriate.
But you know what, though? They got shined with the good boy race, so there won't be any bitching.
Well, bitching isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Well, Superman's going to think so. He's looking to get married.
I can't. See, we know that Superman is right about everything, so I can't.
Right.
resist.
So you just calm them ladies down.
So they have. All right, I'm not playing into this. I'm moving on from this bit.
You will die without honor.
So they decide, well, how will we decide who gets which? We could ask them, but no, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to concoct this weird scheme where we hold up giant L's that we made out of girders, and whoever gets struck by lightning first gets the first choice.
Yeah, they'll let God decide.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
And God decides, I want no part of this misogynistic bullshit. I'm not doing it.
You know, it's probably best they never tell this story to their wives.
No.
Yes.
And I don't
Don't
think they were.
Don't explain that you were the second pick. You
Yeah,
were
right.
the silver medal.
What if they're both just like, shit, I wanted Lois too? Well, neither of us want Lana. I don't want her.
Yeah, fuck that prude bitch.
I
Let's
mean,
just
if you,
make two Loises.
yeah,
seriously, just
put her under the machine.
Thing on Lois. We'll test it out on Lana in case it doesn't work.
All right. Lana will
use
stay
that
home with the
Lois.
kids, though.
Yeah. You do want to marry her. You want to settle down with Lana.
Wait, what was Lana's job?
I don't remember.
What did she do?
She was probably also a reporter at some point. Everyone was a reporter.
All right. Everyone, not the Daily Planet. There's only two.
Yeah. She didn't
Now
work
there's
there.
only one.
They're gonna expand. Yeah.
Soon to be zero.
Yeah.
Well, they've got Lois, Jimmy, and Clark. I don't know who you keep excluding, but you're excluding one of them.
I'm excluding. Well, Clark ain't there anymore.
Clark ain't there, but you said there were three to begin with. You keep saying there were. You said you were there.
No,
were two.
there are two reporters and Jimmy, the photographer.
He's a Cub reporter.
Is he a reporter?
Maybe not at this time, but
What's he reporting on? Fucking sunscreen?
yeah, he's a Cub reporter. You know, he's basic things, just library openings, things like that.
And what we know is he's a better reporter than Clark Kent.
Yes, by $5.
$5 better.
So then they're lamenting the fact that God won't strike them down to let them decide what women to take.
All right, so they both decide to just be gay together.
That's not what happened. They decided, they realized that they each liked a different woman, which is odd because they're identical. These
And so-
Supermans are they identical, so why would they have different preferences?
They just do.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Why? Because Superman Red's gonna be a lot tougher, and he's gonna be able to handle a strong woman like Lois.
A city
while,
woman.
While Blue Beta Superman is just gonna need like a homemaker type who's
know-
not gonna step out on him because he's never gonna be strong enough to keep her.
Did you guys want to know what Lana Lang's job was?
Yes.
What was it?
Reporter.
I knew it. Everyone was a reporter. It's funny that you mention those personality types because when they did this again with the electric Superman in the 90s, this is actually what they did. The blue Superman had the more loving, peaceful attitude, and the red Superman was the hot, angry one.
Yep.
So they really did this, yeah.
He can't wait to vote for Trump.
No.
That's what he's gonna do with that Ray too. Make everyone vote for Trump. He just programmed that part in.
It's the anti-evil Ray, of course.
Superman, Blue Superman are arguing about like what morality is because they're so politically different, but not really. And one just like, well, I'll make it and I'll agree to all your shit, but everyone's voting for Trump. He's like, all right, fine.
Sure. I secretly wanted to vote for Trump myself. Oh, really? Oh,
Right?
fuck
Because
yeah,
I'm
bro.
because I'm a Democrat.
They slap hands. High five.
Yeah, rich people.
So both the Supermans go and talk to their respective women's and propose to them. Now, despite their heightened intellect, they have not thought of the fact that maybe these two women were going to talk to each other about their engagements to Superman and maybe
Yeah.
spoil this.
Yep, right. Well, they do right away. I like how like Lana is excited that she got the Superman that definitely won't cheat on her.
Lana got the blue one. Yeah.
Like he ain't doing that.
Yeah, no, he's staying home. He's staying home every Friday night.
And he looks just like the red Superman who she's actually attracted to.
So she can pretend. Yeah,
right.
she can just
she can pretend like all housewives.
she has him role play as the Red Superman.
Right. Tell me I can't get an abortion.
Put on the red costume tonight.
Tell me about Newt Gingrich's book.
So they all end up meeting at a park, and they just kind of let the women figure this out.
Yep.
Rather than tell them what's going on.
They're like, there's two of us, and they just like put on their
Yeah.
goofy costumes.
And they act like the women act like they're not ecstatic to tell the other one.
Yeah, they're like, I finally got him, you stupid bitch.
Oh
They
no,
were gonna-
I just can't face her. She's
Oh,
gonna be
no.
so sad.
Oh, they were going to be super catty about it, and it ruined
Yeah.
it for both of them.
Yeah, they were.
Now they
I'll
have to
finally
pretend
get-
like they're happy for each other.
Lana's like, I'll finally get that city bitch.
She thinks I'm just some dumb hick.
She calls her up and goes, I got that good.
So the day of the wedding arrives,
Yeah.
and we see that Jimmy Olsen is there, and he's reconnecting with Lois Lane's sister, Lucy Lane.
Right. And
Yes.
apparently, like, Jimmy Olsen's been trying to ask her to marry him, but she says, no, he's a ginger.
Her reasoning is that, I can't get married until Lois gets married. But
Right.
really,
She
it's
could,
the
and
ginger
she was waiting for so long because Lois is over 25 and she's busted.
thing. Lucy's the cutest one, though.
Right. She's
looks
just
great.
about to be busted, though.
Yeah, she's gonna bust straight open.
That's why she's willing to marry someone as low as Jimmy.
So on the day of the Superman's weddings, Jimmy and Lucy just decide they're just gonna hop in this and make it a triple wedding.
Yep.
Which I guess is just something you can do sometimes.
Right. And Superman Red just goes, no, you're not, and backhands Jimmy's head off.
Yep, and his head flies out of the solar system.
All right. And then he gets tired of hearing Lois' sister cry, so he tosses her into space.
He's really coming unhinged here at the end.
Right.
I will say, though, this is the first part of the story where it actually mattered that there were two Supermans. Up to this point, it really could have been the same story with one Superman's.
What if like the good boy Ray, like Superman has to leave because he can't deal with woke culture?
I just can't say what I just want to say what I want to say.
Right?
Yeah.
Red Superman's is like, I gotta go to another
He
fucking
keeps
planet.
telling really risque jokes and nobody laughs.
American
or jokes
values.
that weren't risque a few years ago.
Yep. Everybody's too sensitive nowadays. They can't take my humor.
Superman refers to humans as a hard R.
Okay. All right. That put a stop to that. That put a screeching halt to that. Upset me.
Don't get on my own plate here.
Thank you, Mo. So they go off to live their respective lives, and Lois realizes that Superman Red really seems to think Earth is a shithole, wants to go
Yep.
over to Krypton.
Yep. He goes, these woke babies.
They're not like this on Krypton.
Yeah.
So Lois agrees to give up her entire life and put on a super suit and fly to New Krypton so they can live there.
Little does she know that she'll be discriminated for the rest of her life.
Yeah, because she's a human. Ugh.
Yeah, right?
You're think about that. You, Lois Lane, you go to New Krypton. You are literally the dumbest person on the planet.
Yeah, by a factor of like, it's like you're a chimp.
Oh my God. Like that's
Yeah,
gotta be.
Yeah, it's gross that Superman wants her.
Yeah, it is. It's like an animal.
No matter
Little
how
Forrest Gumpy.
no matter how old she gets, it's always going to be grooming.
Yeah. Because he's gonna live to be 1,000 years old.
Yeah, he's
She's gonna
always-
die in like 30 years.
And he's always going to be in a position of extreme power over her.
Yeah. This is really wrong.
And if the gravity is heavier, wouldn't she be super weak?
Yeah, she'd be crushed.
She's gonna be crushed into a tin can the second they get there.
That's the problem with Mars. You send humans to Mars and they're there for a couple of years. When they come back, Earth's gravity will crush them.
So they decide, well, we'll just take the risk, I guess.
Right? So Lois flies to New Krypton on a horse.
Right. Okay. So this is Comet. This is Comet, the super horse. I feel like I should let you guys know about Comet. So Comet is he's a centaur from another dimension who turned into a horse when he came to Earth.
Well, that's complicated.
Now, well, it gets a little more complicated because Comet also has a human form named Bill.
Okay.
And in human form, In human form, Comet has had romantic relationships with both Supergirl and Lois Lane.
That's excellent.
So
That's excellent.
Does he still have his horse penis?
Yes, he does.
everything changes but the penis.
Right.
Or he has a human-sized penis when he has a horse body.
Well,
Man.
he clearly has a human brain in the horse body because he chooses to leave.
Oh no! You know what that means? That means that he goes back to New Krypton with Lois. He's gonna be cucking Superman that entire time.
Yeah, why not? What's the difference between fucking this alien Superman and fucking this centaur horseman?
Yeah, but
Who
like Red Pill,
cares?
but that will destroy Red Pill Superman,
Yeah, he can't handle it. He is not prepared for that.
right?
He may be a repressed homosexual, but he is not going for this interspecies
Right?
stuff.
He's
Right?
not going to be cucked.
Yeah, he's gonna be so upset about being cucked that he's gonna smash his hands together, and the shockwave will destroy New Krypton.
All right. So meanwhile, Superman Blue and Lana stay on Earth. They're having a good time. They apparently don't want to leave for New Krypton, which again is strange because the Supermans are the exact same person.
Maybe Blue Superman chose Lana because he was the only, when they split in two, only he had the memory that Lois fucked a horse.
Yes, they divvied up the memories.
Right? So he's just like, yeah, I
Dude,
pick Lana.
that is-
He's just like, really? You do? He
That
goes,
is- yeah.
absolutely.
That is leftovers, Red. That's all you.
And he's like,
all
oh
you.
boy, thanks.
So Superman Blue stupid. Superman Blue goes to the Daily Planet and tells Perry White, "I'm retiring because I didn't get my raise."
Yeah, and then he kills him.
And he goes, "Well, you can't retire. You have to continue fixing the world." He goes, "Hey, son of a bitch, I made robots for that." And Perry White goes, "All right, that's fine."
He's like, oh, so I guess there's not going to be a whole lot of news.
"Yeah, how am I going to get my next $25 a week raise?"
So yeah, Superman goes, the Daily Planet's officially
It's all
closed.
soft news now. It's all like, look at this puppy.
Yeah,
It's all
right.
fake news.
Right?
Yep. And so,
BuzzFeed
yeah,
takes over.
they,
Yeah.
It's all listicles.
Yeah, top 10 signs that your wife's been fucking a horseman.
Yeah, no, that's not New Krypton with Red Pill Superman. That's all Red Pill content.
So yeah, apparently Superman Blue is going to devote his life to science. Now they just call him Superman on Earth because Red left, so he's just Superman, I guess.
Yeah, but he really wants people to think he's not with Trump.
yeah. He's
So
going
he's just
super
avoiding
blue.
the color red altogether.
Well, he also dresses his children like him.
Yeah, because he's a psycho.
Yeah, they have kids, and the kids are also superpowered, and they can fly around and everything like that.
Yep. Which makes him the better than Superman Red, who doesn't have powers.
Well, it also implies that he just hangs out like this at home.
No,
And he
well, it
makes
says,
the kids just
No,
hang
no,
out
no.
like this at home.
It says when Jimmy and
Oh,
Lucy
in
come
honor of
by,
this-
which,
you're
by the
right.
way, 4 years later, and Jimmy and Lucy are still around. Come on, they're not a couple anymore. They split
No,
a
of
long
course
time
not.
ago. This ain't lasting.
Well, I mean, but they both got hit with the
The good boy. Ray.
good ray. So, like, are they capable of thinking negatively about each other in order to split up?
I don't know. It's a big moral question.
Like, since everyone's all positive now, wasn't this the plot of like Squadron Supreme,
I don't know.
where they
I don't
like
know.
brainwashed everyone into being good?
I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work because you would think they could still. You would think if anything, you'd want to get divorced because you want that'll make the other partner happy because you're so miserable. Jimmy.
Yeah, but are they even capable of being unhappy?
Can you be happy if you're not capable of being unhappy? Don't you need that contrast?
Yeah, what's the help drive them forward? Because like usually being bored is what encourages people to try new things.
Capitalism, of course.
So like if you're never bored because you're always happy and satisfied, you would never try anything.
Well, they want a job well done. They want a good attaboy from their father figure.
So Superman enslaved them.
Yeah.
And there, here, look at Superman grimacing because Superman Red on Krypton is grimacing because he's watching his two children ride the horse that actually fathered them.
Yes. I do want to clarify that point. Superman was only wearing blue because it was a special occasion. All right?
Oh,
that
I
got
see.
lost in the shuffle there. But yes, then we see that we see on New Krypton that Superman's Red's unpowered kids, they're riding around on Comet the horse, who is a man / centaur.
Yep.
And then we
Who
see
has sex with human women?
sex with human women on an alien planet. Like this guy's living a life.
Yep.
Like, he's seen a lot of amazing things.
Maybe he got his brain fried in the kryptonite machine too.
So then we see that Jimmy and Lucy are just curious to see about how Superman Red is doing, and they can just turn on a TV that's in their house and watch them at any time.
And he's just in the closet, like autoerotic asphyxiating himself.
Yeah, just hanging himself with a fan belt. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. And they don't seem to realize that Jimmy and Lucy are watching them. They don't seem aware of this.
Nope.
It's weird. And then the comic ends, and I really thought there would be a couple more pages, but the comic ends with Jimmy and Lucy wondering which couple is actually happy and which are faking it. And then it asks the reader, which do you think is actually super miserable? And that's how the book ends.
Yeah, which one? Well, Lois is pretty happy because she has the husband that she can show to the world, and she's having sex with a horseman.
Yep.
Right? And Beta Blue is happy because everyone's on his world is brainwashed into being happy.
Yeah. He's still their dictator, just like all Democrats want to be.
The first thing he did when his children were born was he shot them in the face with that ray.
You're going to be good children.
Yep. You're going to sleep when I tell you to.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. That's how that ended.
And he's like, which couple do you think is happiest? He goes, I know which one isn't. Me.
This is how they're trying to keep their marriage alive, by discussing how miserable other couples might be.
When Jimmy's on top of her, she just it's everything she can do to not count the freckles on his face.
Good God.
As he's looking down on her, as he's having in sexual ecstasy.
Jimmy has probably been enormously successful in the world, and that's how he's been able to hold on to her.
Yeah. Well, doesn't mean she's not grossed out by his skin.
Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, that's it.
That's it.
That's the end of the book. What do we think of this?
This was my new favorite comic book that we've done.
Right. Shée, what'd you think of this? Yeah, this is crap.
They saved the universe.
It doesn't even make... First of all, the opening sequence is, okay, Superman feels bad that he hasn't accomplished anything, and then we never come back to it unless you're taking away that the message is the only true fulfillment is a job well done.
No, it just shows that being a wage slave is pointless when you're smart.
This is a meandering mess of a story. It was fun reading it, but it's not a good story. I can only say 2 out of 5 miracle baldness cures. Slather it on.
I can't wait.
Yeah. As soon as, first we got to get the anti-evil ray, and then we got to solve all diseases.
You ain't getting me with that ray.
We're going to solve Alzheimer's. We're going to solve cancer, and we're going to solve baldness, not in that order.
What about aging? Isn't aging considered a disease?
Well, that's what me and my fellow transhumanists believe. Aging and death are just diseases that need to be cured.
Right. I want to live forever, but run the risk of dying by being beheaded in a sword fight.
Yes, if there is a suitably metal death, I will forfeit my eternal life.
To a Queen soundtrack? Yeah, fucking A.
That's what you want to happen. All right, so we should talk about what we're going to do next time.
Yeah, well, probably more Superman.
It's probably more Superman as, oh my God, what's the name of the month again? Supermanuary. Supermanuary. Supermanuary continues. I can say Supermanuary. I can't say continues.
That's good.
So we're going to spin the wheel. We've got some good items on there.
Sweet.
Probably some offensive racist stuff.
No, Superman. That guy is a good boy, Ray. No one's racist anymore.
There's an issue of Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, that's questionable that I'm really hoping doesn't come up. And it probably will now.
Oh, no. Is it the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah, it absolutely is. There's two Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane.
I thought we did that one.
That's super fucked up.
No, the one where she turns black?
Yeah.
There's also one where she's super fat, too.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's on the wheel or not. I don't know. I put on whatever ones you wanted me to put on, and I just gave up fighting. Yeah. So we're going to listen to some music while we spin this. I did do something a little different. I've defied the wheel. I've never done this before, but since it's Supermanuary, I thought maybe it was the wheel will accept it. There are a lot of Superman songs out there, and just putting them up at the opening, it doesn't hit enough of them for me. So I was going to defy the wheel, and there's always a risk. And put Superman songs on the wheel, but the difference here is that all of the Superman songs on the wheel are songs that I actually had in my personal library that I went out and paid for and owned, and they're not necessarily deep cuts, but these are songs that I have personal attachments with.
Excellent.
All right? I don't want to hear any shit.
No, I'm excited.
Just my personal library. All right, so here we go, and we're going to go in reverse chronological order So this has been my most recent super song in my library.
Many know this shack made of nails, but did you know this shack made of steel? Feel me. No matter what I do, the Billy is gonna flourish. Big rich like a bus full of Japanese tourists.
Now, that's Shaq's Men of Steel from the Steel soundtrack. Also from my book Shaq Track Attack, which is possibly soon to become a series of video essays because it turns out people won't read a book even if you give it to them for free.
Yes.
But I spent a lot of time in the pandemic listening to this song, and it is terrible. And Shaq compares his penis to a busload of Japanese tourists.
Fantastic.
I don't even know what that means.
You just said the song was bad, and then you told me something that was super awesome.
Yeah, I'm a complicated guy.
I don't hate
Shaq.
this song, James.
It's got this, as I mentioned in the book, it's got this like cartoon sound effect. Listen right here. It's the sound that a clown's nose makes when you bonk it to make his pants fall down.
Okay.
And that's a part of the beat. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
this reminds me of early days of the pandemic.
Oh, I heard it.
Maybe the music video, whenever that honk happens, there's a clown that whose pants fall down.
Yeah, that would definitely elevate it for me. But yeah, in my personal library, it's there. It pops up from time to time. Shaq's Men of Steel. All right, well, we can spin to it. Let's see what's coming up next time. Next week.
I don't know, dude. This song kind of rips.
Yeah, he's the most underrated artist of all time. Okay.
Oh, you got lucky.
Action Comics number 337. This might be one of mine. I don't know.
I know what all the bad ones are.
Oh, yeah?
You got lucky.
Let me see here. I got to move all this shit away. Action Comics 332.
I don't know why I want worse ones, because it's like we just did one where Lois has sex with a horse.
Okay, yep. This was one of my picks.
Mm-hmm.
It is from we're staying in the 60s. See,
Oh,
I
this
put in
looks
some.
great.
I tried to pick stuff from different eras, but we're staying in the 60s. We're going to 1966 with another Kurt Swan cover, another written by Leo Dorfman. So this should be pretty similar to what we just saw.
That's fantastic.
The cover of it is.
I love it.
The cover
I love
of it
this
says,
so much.
Why does Superman fight crime as a millionaire and as a hobo? Read the bombshell answer in from riches to rags. And it's a split screen. And on the left, we've got Superman in a top hat punching out gangsters, getting out of his limo with his pimp cane.
Yeah.
And on the right, we've got Superman outside of a shack cooking up some beans.
So notice he doesn't have shoes on. He's got holes in his socks. But what does it say? It says private Superman shack.
Superman shack. So... yeah, I literally just went through, I think, coverbrowser.com, and I go through all of the Action Comics and Supermans and Adventure Comics and all those things, just looking for funny covers, and this one struck me, and okay.
You know what? If I had Superman's powers, I'd probably live like the Superman on the right. Because it doesn't fucking matter. You're invulnerable to everything. You don't need shelter. You don't.
Yeah.
You're smarter than everyone, so you don't need conventional forms of stuff and entertainments.
Yeah. It's kind of this is kind of similar to what we just read. Two Supermans with two very diverse patterns of their life.
Yep.
All right, that's coming up next week. We're gonna hit it hard.
Looks good.
All right, that's about it. Shée, can you get us out of here? Can you wrap us up, please?
Yeah, can. Listen to our episodes, which have no hate speech, we promise, on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any other podcast app that you can possibly think of. And you can find the RSS feed on darksidescouch.com. Visit us at Darksides Couch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all one word, and at YouTube at Darksides Couch, all one word.
It's quite intuitive.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it. I had a great time. Yep. I want to split myself into two now.
Yep.
Just like Lois Lane is getting split in two by that horse.
Yep.
One last tasteful comment before we get out of here.
Yep.
All right. Anybody got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
That was kind of my final thought. Just like, hey, if you're going to like marry a chick, try to remember what her relationship with the horses are.
Shée,
This was too many Supermen.
ta-ta for now, Christian Crusaders. We'll talk to you next week on the couch.
Do you know what this is?
It's the bottle city of Kandor. One of your enemies stole it from Krypton before it exploded.
Brainiac. He used his technology to miniaturize the greatest city of my homeworld. I've been trying for years to restore the thousands of people who live there to regular size.
You found a way.
No.
You're a loser, Superman. Can't even figure out how to make us big again.
Yeah, make us big again, you fucking idiot.
Make us big. 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 Make us
Okay, that's enough.
Make us